So to begin this sequence, we start with the classic side mount escape, where I have my hand underneath James's neck, I'm gripping his shoulder, forearm on his hip bone here. I'm going to bridge up, out, insert my shin all the way. With a flat shin, I push my shoulders back, pulling his arm out of position, drop my foot, one more hip movement, and then I am back in closed guard. That's really the best case scenario. If I can get this hand underneath, but very often you don't get that opportunity. He's so tight with his head that I can't get my hand underneath here. So just use what you got. That's the rule in jiu-jitsu. You got to use what you got. So I have my bicep against his head. This is pretty good. This is pretty good. I need to combine the bump of my bicep with a bump of my hip. And sometimes, if you bump like this, you can make the room to insert your shin and then pull back and continue with your side mount escape. So now James is holding me so tight, I really can't even make room with my hips here. He follows me every time. So you got to use what you got. I'm going to use the fact that he's holding onto my torso real tight against him. So I bridge up and over, he bridges back into me, and then I reverse him into side mount. I'm using the very tightness of his arms against him because he won't base out. Now, if you're really tricky, like my instructor, Roy Harris, you will be able to just use your legs and whip into that position. Check it out. I'm here, everything's real tight in the upper body. Throw the legs up, throw them into them, and then whip them violently. And then go ahead and take your position in side mount. But what if, of course there are what if scenarios. So what if they are able to take their arm and base out? Really common, that's what we need to do. We need to be able to chain submissions together, and we also need to be able to chain escape movements together. That is part of the higher level of jiu-jitsu. So we're doing the same thing. I'm going to bridge him up. He pushes back, but this time, he catches with his arm. That is what we want. We want a little bit of room. So just do a little elbow-knee insertion, and then we can control by pushing with my shin and pulling with my hand on his wrist. Now if you want to get tricky, here's a cool wrist lock. So you bridge up, catches, I do my insertion, and now check out the back of my calf on the back of his elbow right here. I backstop it, and then I use my palm on the top of his wrist here and go into the wrist lock. You need to do this as a surprise. You can't telegraph it, but they're usually not expecting it from a position like this. Alright, now, because I'm pushing with my shin against the crook of his elbow, I can create a little bit of room here in between our chests. I can move out, insert my shin. Now I have the option of a shin sweep. Get my hand under his hamstring. If it's tight back there, just pull him up a little. Now the hand fits. Okay. I'm going to pull my hips up into him, then drop, rock him back over, and then check it out. Here we are at the wrist lock again. Okay, now he feels the wrist lock coming on, and of course, some people will be able to rip their arm out. So as I go for the arm lock, he pulls that hand back. Keep it pinched between your knees. Keep that arm pinched between your knees. Use your forearm to push the head. Throw your legs over for the reverse triangle. Now, this is a good position to hold him, but you can't really get the submission unless you pull on that arm. So do what it takes to get that arm up. Once you start bringing it up, then we can get the submission. If you can't get a hold of the arm, then focus your energy on the top arm. Of course, you can get a straight arm lock submission, but as you go for this, almost always, they will pull out and finish with the Americana. now that I have this limb entanglement, typically what I'll do is I'll just wait for the right moment. I will keep pressure on here so I can manipulate this body. So I'll just lift, and when the time is right, get my underhook. Once I have the underhook, I'm not trying to lift him, but I can slide underneath him and then either try to take the back or hook the single leg. Knees come up, grab the other ankle, other knee, drive him down, and pass the guard. Okay, now I went for that single leg, but James sprawls on me. So what to do? Don't try to lift him directly. Instead, I'm going to grab a wrist. I'm going to sit through, poke my head up. Okay, grab this leg because this will help in your rotation as you spin towards me.